Look here, Novak Djokovic. Why the top players actually have an easier road, an easier game than the lower ranked players. Now, I know, before I get started here, I know that they earned it. You could say that they earned it. We can get into that. But the last several years, there's no doubt that players like Novak Djokovic actually have an easier game than everybody else. And I'm going to show you why in this video. So we are going to look at 2023. So all I did here was go to the ATP Tour website, click on activity for Novak Djokovic 2023. We can see he was 56-7, 7 titles, $15 million. So he played 63 matches and he played 17 tournaments. Now 17 tournaments is low. The average, I think the average on tour for a top 100 guy is going to be somewhere between 25 and 30. So he's already playing 10 less tournaments than everybody else. And he starts his season off. We'll go down here to Adelaide. This is last year, 2023. So he starts his season off in Australia. And something to point out here about Australia, plays in Adelaide, then he plays in Melbourne, and he plays 12 matches, 2 tournaments on the same continent. Not much travel there. Basically spends a month in Australia before he goes to Dubai in late February. So in 2 months, he's really only traveling one place. And he plays, first round here, plays Lestienne, who's never played before. Hallis played 1 time. Shapovalov 8 times. Medvedev 15 times. Korda never played. And a couple things I want to mention here. Look at the disparity here. It's either, we can see just in this tournament alone, it's either never played before, for the most part, never played before or played a lot, with the exception of Hallis. And you can see Hallis is he almost won, took him to 2 tiebreakers. He's got a pretty flat game, a good hardcourt player. He's been around for a while, so that's something that you might expect. But where's the advantage lie here? Number one, playing someone that he's never played before, being Novak Djokovic, the superstar that he is. Guarantee that anyone who never played Djokovic before is going to be nervous. They're going to have a hard time overcoming the fact that they're going to beat one of the best tennis players of all time. That's the first thing I wanted to point out. So he has that advantage going for him. And then he's playing guys like Shapovalov, Medvedev. You could see they're seeded 18, seeded 7. These are a couple of the top guys on tour, but he's played them a total of around 22 times before. And to me, that's a major advantage. If you've ever played people that you've played many times before, and especially if you've beaten them, it's a huge confidence boost. You can scout them because they're on. There's tons of film. You've played them before, etc., etc. And then the final thing I'm going to mention about this is he's playing on the same court every time. How many times has he been to Adelaide? And we're going to really get into that in the next tournament when we see he's playing at the Australian Open. He's playing on the same center court every time. Huge advantage. Knows the court well. It's like basically playing on your home court. Well, all these other guys have to play on different courts. So let's take a look here. So he wins Adelaide, moves on to the Australian Open, and plays Baena, who he's never played before, again. Kalkad, never played before. And then we go to Dimitrov, the exact extreme, played 12 times before. Then he plays Diminar, who he's played once or twice. And then Rublev, 5 times. Tommy Paul, never played. Tsitsipas, 12 times. And he wins the tournament. Then takes a month off. Literally gets a month off. And he goes to Dubai. Macic never played. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm just going to make some speculation here. He never played this guy before. Greek Sport probably never played him before. Hurkacz probably played him like 10 times. Medvedev, again, 15 times. Loses to Medvedev. Then he goes to Monte Carlo. A whole month off. Again, a whole month of March off. To recover. To relax. He doesn't need to practice. He knows what he's doing. I mean, he might practice during that time, but I mean, he doesn't need to be playing matches and really pushing himself. So here, Monte Carlo, Gakov, 198, and he has a first-round bye. And he plays a guy seated or ranked 198. Never played him before, for sure. That guy's scared. That guy is definitely scared. Musetti, and then he loses. Plays a pretty solid guy, Musetti, on clay. Italian guy. Loses the match. Probably, let's take a look and see who he's played, if he's played him before. Okay, it doesn't want to come up. So we got Novak Djokovic. Am I spelling that right? Well, it's not coming up, so we'll have to skip that guy. So loses the tournament, 10th of April, and then obviously he loses, so he's going to go play another tournament. First round bye again, and then Van Ash wins. Let's see if he's played him. Why isn't it coming up? There it is. Van Ash. Okay, so at that point, he's never played him before. Never played him before. Gets the win. Ladrovic, his countryman, who he's played, I don't know how many times he must have played this guy in practice, etc. But he loses. I mean, even just the point, the comfortability. Like, it's like going to your backyard and playing one of your buddies. So then we're going to move on. He plays Rome. Almost a month off. Echeverry. Dimitrov. Again, Dimitrov. We see another player's played him 12 times. Nori. At this point, probably played him 3 times. Won all 3. Where are they at? They're on clay. Nori can't play on clay. I mean, his record's probably atrocious on clay. Holger Rune, and then he loses. Loses to a solid player. Just curious, how many times has he played him? At this stage. 3-2. So at this point, he was probably 3-1 or 3-0 or 2-1. Then he goes to Roland Garros. So pretty much staying in Rome. I'm sorry, Rome. After Dubai, he goes to Australian Open, then he goes to Dubai. Pretty much staying in Europe for the next several tournaments up until Roland Garros. And again, don't forget what I mentioned, that he's playing on the same court at every tournament. Roland Garros, Kovacevic, not even ranked in the top 100, gets the win. Fukosevic, still a lower ranked player, probably never played him before. Fokina, gets a win against Fakina. Farias, he's probably first time match. Karen Kachanov, probably played him 10 times. Alcaraz, obviously has played him many times. Rude again. So he wins the Australian Open, playing a bunch of guys he's comfortable with. And I don't care really that they're good players. Like, that doesn't matter to me. 5-1, 5-0 at this point, probably 5-0. It doesn't matter that it's Casper Ruud. Like, it's about matchups. And then he's going to go to Wimbledon, to the grass. The whole month of June off. The whole month of June. Like, you think of some of these guys, like, you talk about the season being a grind, and they're playing 11 months out of the year. He's not playing 11 months out of the year. He's already had 3 months off. We're only halfway through the season. Kachin, first time probably. Thompson, same thing. Never going to play them again. Wawrinka, how many times has he played Wawrinka? Hurkacz, Rublev again. Sinner. How many times has he played Sinner? Six times probably at this point. And then Alcaraz again. Look at that. It's like playing your best friends. Then he goes to America. July 3rd, Wimbledon. Gets almost pretty much another month off. Fakina again. Monfils. How many times has he played Monfils? Fritz, Zverev, Alcaraz. Like, this whole tournament's a joke. He's played these guys how many times on the same center court with the big stadium around, all the people. Then he goes from Cincinnati, little bus ride from Cincinnati to New York, U.S. Open. Mueller, definitely going to be scared. Morales, Spanish guy playing on a hard court. It's not going to work. And then he gets his countrymen. He gets two of his countrymen again. Two of his buddies. Sure, he knows very well. Then he gets Fritz again. Then he gets Shelton. Now Shelton, he probably hasn't played before. This would be. Yep. So it's his first time playing against him. That is an interesting matchup there. That would be tough. I would say out of all the matches I've looked at here for this year, that is going to be one of his few tough matches. In the United States. But still, never played him before. Then he gets Medvedev again. Fakina again. Goes back to Europe. Looks like Davis Cup. We don't even really need to count that. Then he goes to the ATP Masters 1000 in Paris, October. Again, another month off. A month and a half off. Echeverry again, Greek Sport again, Rune again, Rublev again, Dimitrov again, Rune again, Sinner again, Alcaraz, Hurkacz, Sinner at the ATP Finals. And that pretty much sums up the year. Then he gets Davis Cup, plays Norrie and Sinner again. I mean, this is a joke, folks. This is a joke that a guy like this gets that much attention for. And this is how the world works in many ways. You build you do your time, so to speak, and then you get worshipped for living the life. We can look at 2024, what he's done so far. Pretty much going to be the same schedule. We're going to see the same things. We see here Australian Open. A couple new guys, Echeverry, Manarino, Fritz, Sinner. Nothing's really changed. Get some new guys. Nardi takes a loss. Same guys, Musetti, Deminar, Rude. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave you there with that thought. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this fair? Is this a fair argument? Is this fair to bring this up?